Hey everybody, it's Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I'm here today just to kind of do a little craft with me. I'm doing some fabric flips for my journals that I'm making, and I thought maybe you guys might want to just hang out and work with me and maybe do some crafting with me or watch or whatever. I apologize for my last video being so long. I had, for some reason, it took me really, and this is on the altar playing cards. I had meant to do it in 3 videos, but the first video that I did took so long to upload that I went ahead and just put the last 2 together. So it's a really long video. Not that mine are all long, but it was exceptionally long. And I just thought, well, y'all just skip to the end, I'm sure, or skip to the parts that you want, because that's what I do. And, you know, honestly, that way you don't have to hunt around for the, you know, part 3 or wait for it and all that. But for some reason, I had a horrible time uploading my videos yesterday, and I don't know. We'll see if today hopefully goes better. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some fabric flips, and in case the people out there that are new to junk journals don't know what that is just something you put in your journal that flips up. It's a decorative element. You can put something underneath it to write or whatever, or, you know, just leave it a blank page. I usually leave it blank underneath. You know, because I'll put it on a blank page, and it's great because you decorate your page, and but you still leave it open for journaling. So I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm doing these kind of grungy type nature journals, and I wanted to do a few fabric flips, and I was trying to think. I went looking through my fabric, and I have so much kind of shabby chic stuff like that. I didn't really have anything to me that looked like it would look good in those journals. It was just like too pretty, I think, or too, you know, too kind of cute or whatever. So I wanted it to be a little bit more grungy, and just, you know, it's going to have flowers in it and everything, but I just didn't want it to be that super I don't know, just kind of a more, I didn't want it to be so shabby and just be a little bit more grungy, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I thought that's kind of what I'm going to attempt today. I haven't started it or tried them yet, so hopefully this works out. I have gotten to where on my videos, I don't really do things as much ahead of time and then do it for you, because I've gotten to where I'll never get anything done if I keep doing that. It's really is very time consuming to do that. So basically I'm just doing what I would be doing anyway, and if y'all want to watch, you know, fine. If you get anything from it, I like to watch people's process videos and watch them work and do stuff like that. So, you know, if you don't, then I guess you won't watch. But they're not really meant, these are not really meant to be necessarily a tutorial. They're just kind of meant to be a craft along with me. And I try and explain what I'm doing from a viewpoint of people that maybe have never done any of these things. So I may explain a lot, but I don't necessarily mean them to be a tutorial. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. And I hope that you're getting a little crafting in. I've had, you know, when you get back from a vacation, you've got loads of laundry, stuff you have to do around the house, oh my gosh, I had so much to catch up on, but I'm getting a little bit more caught up. So hopefully I'll be able to, you know, get some journals finished that I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be able to do that. I am going to do a couple of these journals with you as far as finishing up and adding things in, because I think that that's probably something that people need to see that haven't done junk journaling, because I do know that even though people show you different things and how to make them, a lot of people are like, okay, so how do you put it all together? And of course, there is no formula for that. Everyone does it differently, and I actually do it differently from journal to journal, so I couldn't tell you if there's a formula. I don't use it. So anyway, let's get to this. Let me show you the things I'm using for this. And of course, you know, fabric flips are all personal. This one is going to be a lot different than the ones I've done before, and I'm hoping that it works, so we'll see. I have a lot of burlap here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. I have allergies really bad, and I was fine as soon as I get home. I'm sneezing again, and I haven't been taking my allergy medicine, so probably looking for trouble. I have different types of burlap. I have a burlap wider weave, kind of white burlap that I'm going to use. I've got, or I might use, I don't know yet, because like I said, I haven't planned this out. I've got this kind of burlap ribbon. I've got this a couple pieces of that burlap that I showed you guys before that has like the paper on the back. I might use those. I'm not sure yet. I love this stuff. I bought this on eBay, and it's fabric ticking pillowcases. It was 4 of them for like $6, and I don't know, I think I paid shipping or whatever. And you know, they had it out there, and the reason people weren't going to buy it is, of course, it had holes in it, and I mean, this is very old. I think they said it's 1800s or something, early, what was it? I think it said 1830 or something like that. But anyway, they're almost disintegrating. You can tear them really easily, but they're so cool. But they had holes and things in them, and there was 4 of them. And it's kind of like my quilt that I got for $5, because it had a few little holes in it and stains on it. You know, you can practically get it for nothing. But for junk journals, guys, that's fantastic stuff. You know, that's sometimes why you get the doilies and things so cheap when you go to these places. I do think they're starting to catch on to us, though, and starting to charge more, but I'm just saying, that's why sometimes you can get a really good deal. I've got different kinds of burlap. This is kind of a tighter weave. This is looser. This is even looser than that. I've got the 2 types of ticking. I've got this duck cloth. This works really well for what we're going to do. I've got a strip of this, and I can make strips of the other things too, because I might use that for the flip part. I've got some ideas, but I haven't really quite gotten to where I might use them. Okay, this stuff, this is used for, it's called fiber tape, and or FIBA tape, FIBA tape. And this is the kind of stuff that you use for drywall repair, or, you know, drywall for the joints and stuff that you put the mud on top of. And I stole this. I guess we repaired a hole or something, and my husband bought some, and he only used a little bit of it. But I took this from him because this stuff is so cool to use in mixed media or whatever. And I might use it on this project, so I'm not sure yet. But it's just a kind of a meshy tape, and it's sticky on one side, and you'll see why I might want to use this. I'm not sure. I haven't 100% decided. I don't even know if it'll work for what I'm going to use it for. And then I have a bunch of different napkins that all have flowers on them. Oh, I got that one wet. That's not great. Okay, I'll just move it over here. But I have, yeah, it's sitting on my wipe over here. That's what the deal is. Okay. Just a bunch of different napkins, kind of in the color scheme that I'm doing. And I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, but I just have a bunch out because I'm not sure, like I said. So, and I have my archival ink. I have it in jet black and this watering can, which I love this. If you ever see it, get that. Anyway, I might do some background stamping on this part of this to begin with. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Let's see what else. I might use my gesso. I have not decided yet. We'll see. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And then I'm going to use my matte gel medium to adhere the napkin. And I just got in this Tim Holtz, and it's called fabric tape. And I don't know if you'll be able to get it. I mean, it's still out there, but the problem is when I got it, it took forever to get it. So I don't know. And now I think I looked and they were out of stock. This is a lot like the athletic tape that I used when I was doing my Grungy journal, and it feels a lot the same, but it's printed on, and you can print on the athletic tape, so that's something that I may use. I just thought it was kind of cool, so we'll see. I might use even some of the athletic tape if I decide not to use that. Okay, now anyway guys, this is what I'm going to do. We'll get right to it because my videos, I'm going to try very hard to not make this a video that lasts for, I don't know how long that other one did, but let me get some of the stuff out of the way. The first one I think I'm going to do is, I'm not going to use that right off the bat, is I think what I'm going to do is I want to make something that's on this plain material and add the burlap to it, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and rip it. I want it ripped if I can get it ripped because I just like that frayed look. And I'm going to make it, oh, I don't know, let's see, right about 4 inches wide, I think. Just roughly that amount. It doesn't have to be. Okay, and maybe I'll make a couple of them. Well, that's going to be a problem there. Maybe not. Let's see. I'll make this one a little bit thinner. Okay, well, that didn't work quite the way I wanted it to. It didn't tear all the way down. Let's see if I can tear that. Okay, that worked out better. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's just do one at a time. So this is the piece that I'm going to use, and what's going to happen is we'll attach this to the page, and this will flip up, and underneath it you'll have just a plain, here I'll just kind of show you if this were our page. I should always probably have a journal out here to show that people that haven't seen this. So this would be like attached on our page, and then we would just flip it up, and usually I leave the page underneath blank so you can just write on it, but then when it's down it's decorative. So I just think they're great to use, but you know, and they're not hard to do, and I think they're fun, and they're just a different element. So I think on this one I'm gonna look for something that I haven't used yet. I like this napkin. Now, the way that you do the napkin, and I did this the other day, but you may not have seen that video, so I'm going to do it again. And like I said, usually the first layer, there's usually 3 layers, comes off really easy. And I save these, and I'll show you in a future video what I do with it. It's really kind of cool. But anyway, then I just take my tape, just regular old Scotch tape, and I think a lot of people go in the middle. I've never done that. Let me try that. Maybe that's easier. Well, it might be. I usually do it on the end, but that's okay. I guess the middle will work too. See, I think my way works better. Yeah, I think it does. Honestly, I think my way works better. We'll do it this way this time. You just put your tape on there and it helps pull off the last. Plus, I think my way keeps the other sheet intact. And like I said, I do use these. I'll show you at some point. Anyway, so here we have this beautiful napkin. And there's all these different designs. Obviously, a lot of butterflies. It's beautiful. And I want to use a portion of this for what we're going to do today. Okay, so I've got that. I have a little, this is like a little water thing. You press down on it. It has water in it. You fill it up with water. And I use it to outline. The other thing you can use, and I actually think sometimes it works a little better. Let me wipe this off a little bit. Is just use a smaller paintbrush and you wet it and go around the area that you want, and so it just makes your napkin tear easily and in specifically in the areas that you want. I think it's way easier than trying to tear it another way, but you know, you don't have to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a piece of burlap, and what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to put this aside for a minute. And I might not use this one. I think I might use this kind. This is a little bit tighter weave. I wished it wasn't so wrinkled, but it's all, I have everything. I got to get so better organized with this stuff. I think I'm going to cut out a piece for this. And I think I could do it on this side. It'll be fine. And I'm going to wet this anyway, so hopefully it'll lie a little flatter. Okay, let's see. How big do I want that? I want to cut that on this side. I got a piece of string there. Alright. And I don't care if it's frayed. In fact, I want it that way on the ends. So I'm probably going to fray it a little bit before I do anything with it. Let's see if that's going to be about right. Yeah, I think that is. If I can get it to kind of lay flat. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and maybe I'll take a little bit more off the ends and make it a little bit more frayed. So I'm still doing grungy, guys. I have done the shabby ones like this, and I can put a video out, link my video out there so you can see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get lots of glue on this, and I'm going to just put it right here on my little piece of fabric here. I'm just glue it down, and you know, I don't care if it's perfectly straight. Probably a little bit down more here because I am going to put something up here to use to flip it up. We're going to put something up there in a little bit. So like I said, I'm going to use my Liquitex, and I am just going to go ahead and put the glue kind of in the middle, or the matte gel. You could obviously use and I have Mod Podge works just as well, or just your white glue or whatever kind of glue you want to use. I'm using this. I could use my 3-in-1 glue to glue it down, but I figured since I'm going to be using the matte gel on top, I might as well just do this. I just hope it's not so wrinkled I can get it down. I was going to wet it, but I think this is going to work maybe. We'll see. Got that one hair that doesn't want to go away there. So anyway, I'm just putting the glue on. Get it all over pretty well. Just kind of glue it down. I might put a little fabric tack on it just to kind of help make it stay down, because it's really not going down as well as I thought it would. You do need glue all over it, the piece that you're doing, because you're going to do something to this in a minute. It's kind of a canvas in this thing. Now the brush that I'm using is kind of a stiff, short bristled brush, and you'll see why that comes in handy later. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this and just kind of make sure that it's down good. Put that there. And I don't care if it's perfectly crooked. I mean, perfectly crooked. Perfectly on there. I just really, want to make sure that it stays on good. I don't want it to come off later or anything. So it's going to be kind of a haphazard look when I get down. And I'm not putting a ton of glue on there. I'm just putting enough to make sure it doesn't come up later. Okay, I think that's good. All right, where'd my thing go? All right, anyway, so I've kind of got that down. There's like a little thread right there. Get that out of there. Although I don't think it'll show later, but who knows. Okay, so I kind of have some glue on there. Maybe put a little bit more. And you want to be generous with the glue, and we're going to put more on later, but you'll see. And I use a matte gel or a matte Mod Podge, and the reason I do that is because this technique, to me, when you're done, it kind of looks like a painted, something's been painted on this burlap rather than just stuck on there. So now that I have it sitting there for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And let's see what I'll just pick out a few things here. I'm going to pick out, and I like to, piece it on there. And you don't have to just use one napkin. You can use several to do this. So I'm going to take this and go like that. I'll go back in and get that in a minute. Let's see. I don't want all of that. The one thing I can tell you about doing this is you want to make sure that you don't have a lot of straight lines, because that really helps in the way it blends on the napkin. And okay, so that needs to come out. Get some more of that out. Okay, so we've got our two butterflies in there, and that's mainly what I was trying to get. And I'll put more things on there in a minute, but so I think I'm going to put that kind of about right here. Okay, so I'm just kind of pressing down with my finger lightly and just kind of getting it where I want. Okay, and then I'm going to get, I saw another one in there, several other that were different colors. Yeah, there we go. I want to get a purple one on there, and I want to get some fern, and then there's another blue one, so let's try that. And the way I do that on these is I just go around and get what I want here. Oops. So I'll just go like that. And I'll put these in there. Try not to tear them. So I've got this purple one, and I may put it right here. Wait, let me look and see. I think I want more flowers on there first. You can't really see the white ones real well, so I'm wondering. I think probably I'm going to take some of this right here. Let me see how it looks when I put that in there. I don't think we're going to be able to see that real well. Let me try it again in the middle and see what I get. If I can't see it real well, I'm just going to take a flower from another napkin and put it on there. So alright, I don't want to cover the other one up too much. So I may just put, and I don't want the, let me see. I think that's going to cover too much of the other one. I think what I'm going to do is just try and get part of this fern in there. Let's see, I want it to go that way. So I'll just hunt around here until I, see, I found, this is what I want. And I'll go through here and I'll just kind of trace around it and get most of what I want. I don't care that it's perfect because it will blend in. And then I kind of lightly pull it where I've put the water. And sometimes it'll tear, and that's okay. That's alright. You can kind of make it work. Alright, so I'm going to take this little tiny butterfly piece off. And I'm going to kind of make this a little more jagged, because what you'll find it is that if you have straight lines on there, they'll show up, but the rest of them won't. So we're going to take that off. And then I'm going to put that, let me see if I can get a little bit more of this off right here. Okay. So I'm just going to gently pull where I don't want these other pieces. Okay. So now all that to get this little fern, but that's okay. So I'm going to put that kind of right over here on the end. Oh, I don't want it to go off. Here we go. That works good. Let me get part of that top part off of there because it's just too much. All right. I'm going to put that there, and then what happened to my other butterfly? I really want to put that kind of, and you can overlap this stuff, and it really tends to turn out really well when you do too. It's just kind of amazing. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this off, and what I'll do is I'll put this right there where I think there's just too much of this other plant in there. Okay, so now I'm going to maybe take some of this off the side. And you know, you just take it and pull the little extra pieces off. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to try and take this butterfly and put him somewhere over here. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay. So he's going to go right there. So I've just kind of gently pushed on here because there was already glue. And now I've got my pieces where I want them. Okay. So then I'm just going to take my brush. And this is where I'll probably use my softer brush first. Because if you use the stiffer brush right off the bat, you can kind of tear your napkin. So I just kind of make sure I put the glue on there, and I'm just kind of generously putting it on there and getting it in all the little spots and make sure it's covered really well. And what I like about this is when it's done, like here we have a little extra paper. I think I'm going to take that off if I can get it off. I want to get that off there and there and there. There we go. That's good. What it does is it it goes into the little indentations of the burlap, and it will look like it's kind of painted on there. It's really cool. Okay. So now I'm going to take this brush and I am going to kind of push down, and I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm just kind of gently pushing in with my stiffer brush, because what I want is I want to kind of make sure that the napkin is going into all of the little squares. And my other brush did that, but this kind of does it a little bit more, especially on the ends. And there we go. So that is one done. Now on the top part on this, I may take some lace or some ribbon or something, and I'll put that up there, and I'll probably sew it on, and then can use that in my journal. I'll have one part here, one part there. That's normally what I do, but I thought what I would do on this is, since I got this, and this is pretty heavy duty, and it has a sticky back to it, which is interesting. I don't know how sticky it is. I haven't peeled it off yet, so I don't know yet. Let me see. Let's see how sticky it is. Yeah, it feels a lot like how athletic tape is. You could probably put that on there with the tape, but my issue with that is I don't know that it would be strong enough to hold, so I would maybe put some fabric tack with it. I probably am going to use this, but I'm going to sew it later. So let me just cut off a piece, show you what it will look like, and I'm going to go ahead and peel it, even though I'm going to wind up having the sticky on there, but I'll put it back on in a minute. Oh, it's pretty sticky. So anyway, this would just go kind of like right up here, but I can't undo this end. Hold on. Bring it closer, maybe I can pull it up. It is really sticky. Stickier than I thought it would be. Well, it's definitely stickier than athletic tape, I'll say that. Okay, so you would put this like right here. So it's half on the top and half off the bottom, and it's decorative. And then, here, I'll show you how it would look on your page. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back of it so it doesn't stick to anything. Put that back on. So now I can sew that. I'll sew it too, but it'll just be on your page, and that's the part that you would sew on or glue on, and then it would flip up. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to put this off to the side, and we're going to do another one. And on this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the, I think I'm going to take the gray, the blue. This is kind of a blue ticking. And I'm going to go ahead and I think cut that kind of in half, because I'm probably going to make two out of this. See how you do that, Terrace? That's how old, this stuff's old. Now I know it's kind of crooked and messed up, but that's kind of how I like it. So I think I'm going to make that the top. So it doesn't matter to me that it's crooked, because I'll just trim it a little bit, make it a little bit more even. Okay. It's a little bit too much. Here we go. Anyway, these are fun to make, and they're really nice because, like I said, it decorates the whole page. And then let's see, I'm going to take a different napkin. I don't know which one I'm going to use. Maybe that one. I don't know yet. I do not know. Yeah, this has a lot of blue. I think I like that. I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. And I show you, this is how I take it from the corner and just make my tape go down there. And this is just the first layer, so it should come out very easy. But I like it because it kind of keeps them intact rather than ripping them. And I do, like I said, I use those pieces, so just stick it down. That one's not working. I think it's because I've used it too much. Oh, come on. There we go. I need another piece of tape. I need a new piece of tape. And sometimes the second one's hard to get off. Sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not real bad. Alright, come on. This one's really giving me a hard time. Let me see here. Well, I don't know. It does not want to come off. Let's see if I can get it out now. I'll see, this time it worked better in the middle. Oh well. I just don't want to tear this. Alright, there we go. Let's try it. Yeah, this one's really stuck down there. Normally they're not that bad. Every once in a while, though, you get one like that. I don't know if you guys heard, I saw something on Facebook today that that Tuesday morning here in the States is going to close a lot of their stores because of the shutdown. Quite a few of them are going to go out of business, and that is sad. But on the good part, I think they're having big sales. And anyway, I was talking to my husband about it, and get this, guys, this is what he says. He goes, well, you better get down there because there's going to be like some really good sales. And when he said that, it's like, oh my God, I almost jumped in the car immediately. You know, so I'm like, yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm probably going to go tomorrow and see if I can find anything. That is where I get a lot of my napkins. So I may stock up on some napkins. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm like, I don't want to walk out of there with $100 worth of napkins, you know, but it happens. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. Gosh, there's so many cool things to choose from, isn't there? I could do the small one. I could do a big one. I think I'm going to do this, like this here. I love that nest too. They're all really cool. It's a really nice one. Okay, so before I do that though, I have to decide, you know, what I'm going to put on here. And I'm going to use another burlap, but I think I'm going to use, I don't know if I'm going to use that. Maybe I'll use that. Yeah, I'll use this. This is kind of it's a bigger weave, and it's a ribbon really, and it's a white, and I think I'm going to just do a piece about that big. And I'm going ahead and cut the ends because I want it frayed. And I'm going to save these. I've used these for things. That's really cool. Hold on. Don't stick to my hands. Anyway, so Tuesday morning it's going out, and that's where I get a lot of my stuff that I get for reduced prices. Oh my gosh, I hope there'll be some open in our area, which is really, I know they don't have them all over, but they're really cool. What it is, it's kind of a liquidation store, and they have a lot of craft supplies. They're not specifically all craft supplies. They have just a lot of things. And I bought quite a few things there, but gosh, that's kind of sad, really. But it's really sad. A lot of businesses are really hurting right now, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just so sad. And then, you know, people losing their jobs. My son, you know, he hasn't really heard back for sure if he's going to have his job back. He's furloughed, but, you know, it may be that he doesn't get to come back and be facing this unbelievable unemployment. So that is really scary. I know he's trying not to think about it and be real positive and all that, but, you know, that's kind of tough. All right. All right. Put that down just a tiny bit more, because we're going to have whatever piece we have up there. So we want to make sure that we have enough of this on there. Okay, so there we go. Probably should have done that on the other one, but it'll work. It'll work still. Make sure that piece is drying. Okay, so then I'm going to take my napkin that I did and pick out what I want. And I really think a good way to do this too is you just kind of lay it on there and then, you know, there's a lot of cool pieces right here. And I don't know, I might put them up. I might do that. I might put a few of these on there and then put, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's see here. I'm going to take some of this and go kind of around here, kind of zigzag in here, and I want to go around these flowers because I kind of want to get those in there. And I don't know if I'm going to take these purple ones, and then if they don't fit, they don't fit. We'll see. All right, so you see I've done my water around there. And then you just kind of lightly push wherever you've done the water. And like I said, guys, you can do the exact same thing with a brush, and you just go around it with the water. I think I got that with my tear ruler, and honestly, I don't usually ever use it with my tear ruler. This is probably the only reason I use it, so... But it does work good with the tear ruler. Okay, so I got that. And here's the thing. See, we can't have that, we cannot have that straight piece down there. And honestly, you'd be surprised. You'll notice it if it has a straight piece, but not if it is torn. It kind of blends in. Okay, so that'll work maybe. Let's see. So we could maybe put that right there. I'm just going to kind of put it down and then see. I'm going to put my glue on. I think that's going to be too big for over there. I think we'll have to use this littler one. Right? I love that stamp too. I'm going to try and get that stamp in there somehow. There's so much of this napkin I love. I just can't use it all, I don't think. It won't fit. It's a really cool one. Anyway, I'm going to try and go down there, and if they have napkins, boy, I'm going to probably... My husband will go into shock. I'll have $100 worth of napkins, but gosh... I don't know. I use napkins for so many different decorative things. Yeah, I think I got too much stuff. I'm gonna probably have to, oh gosh, what if I put that right here? I can take part of that off. Or I could put that there, and then maybe put that there. No, it looks better over here. And then I'm going to just take this part off. Sorry, little purple flower, but you're not going to make the cut. I don't know. I think, well, I might keep some of it. Let's see. I wonder if I can just keep some of it and have it look good. Usually it doesn't look good if you have part of a flower in there, so yeah, I don't think it's going to look that great. So I'm going to try and strategically go around it if I can. Oops, see, I tore it. That's okay. I think I can salvage it. Alrighty there. Get that piece out. Okay. It's still gonna look okay, guys, I promise. Okay, I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Move this over a tiny bit over here so it's all on the burlap, and then I'm gonna move this one right here. Ooh, too much of it's falling off. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Pull that up a tiny bit. I think I have to take some of this off on this end. That's what you kind of do. You just go back and forth and get it to fit as best you can. Like I said, it does not matter if you can overlap it a little. It won't be, you know, it'll still look good. So, but on this particular application, the less layers you have, the better, because the more it will go into the glue. Okay, so I think on this, I'm going to go ahead and do it like that and start putting my glue down. So I am going to put my glue down first and then go back and stick it on there. And for this particular way to do it, having a good amount of glue makes a difference, because it really gets it in there into the fibers, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make sure you have enough in there. And I've had people ask me about this. This is just a dollar store makeup brush, and I like it because it's easy to handle, and it has really short bristles, and I actually use some of different ones for putting on my different inks and things like that too. So you don't have to spend a lot, and you don't have to use things for what they are for necessarily. Okay, so this one's going to go right here. Let me get that right there. I'm just kind of lightly putting it down in case I have to move it. And then I'm going to try and keep that right there. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to get some of these little loose pieces down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of tap it down, get it into the glue that's already there. That way you have less of a chance of it ripping when you put the other glue on. And even if it does, guys, it's very salvageable, trust me. Okay, and I'm just kind of tapping it down to get it into there. So now I'm going to start applying some glue gently. The first coat's you have to be kind of gentle. And I'm going to put a generous amount, because that really is what makes it go into the burlap. And I mean, you could do this just on fabric, but the thing about it is that going into this burlap, it really goes into those little grooves, and it gives it just a really neat effect, I think. But okay, so we're gonna do that. And go all the way across. Okay, so we've got plenty of glue on there, and I'm going to take my other stiffer brush. I'm going to take a little bit more glue, but I'm going to just go like this. Like I said, all I'm doing with this brush really is getting it into all the little grooves. That's what you're trying to do. The other one did to some extent, but because this is a stiffer, shorter bristle brush, it will push it in there even more. And that honestly is what gives it the effect that you will see when we're all done. Got that on my finger, don't I? Oops, come on. That was starting to come up on the ends. And the big thing too is making sure you get all the little ends in there, because that's where it blends in really well. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to put on top of that. I think what I might do is take this strip that I have from this other one and put that up there. I think that would look really, really good. So I think I'm going to tack that on there with glue, and then I'm going to sew it later. So I'm going to put that, get that off the top. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right up here. Like I said, I am going to sew this later, so let me do, I don't know how far it's going to go, but we shall see. I really like this piece because it's kind of ripped and, you know. Okay, so we'll let that one dry, so that's another one. Now, let's see how we're doing on time a little bit, and then, okay, well, we're getting close to the end. We're going to try and do one more real quick, and then I will show you guys what it looks like dry. So we got that one, that one. Okay, so why don't we do one with the gray. See how faded? That's what I'm saying. You can get a really good deal sometimes just by, you know, looking for things that other people don't want, because they're like, oh, well, it's ripped, I don't want it. Well, you know, that works for us, doesn't it? Okay, so I think on this one, I'm going to go this way just to kind of change it up. Okay. And then probably take a little bit more off of here. There we go. Okay, so on this one, I think what I'm going to do is use this bigger weave than the other one that we did. Or maybe I'll use a really big one. Let's see how that turns out. I might use this. Yeah, that'll be different. So this is a lot bigger weave than the other one, so we'll see how that turns out. We'll try that. And I don't care if it's crooked, but that's a little bit too crooked. And I think I'm going to cut those off. And they won't continue to fray because you're putting all this glue on there, so, but I want them frayed to begin with, so, okay. Take a little bit of that off on the ends. Yeah, that's good. All right, so we're going to put that there. Anyway, this is just kind of a fun way to use just some fabric in your journal. And it's usually, you know, it just depends on how you do it. If it's going to be bulky or not, you know, that way. The way I do them, I add so many bulky things that I do my best when I get to this point, usually, to try not to bulk it up too much, because my journals tend to get so big and fat, and you know, I like them that way, but some people may not. So, all right, on this one, I don't know. Let me see. This one's kind of cool. I do like this though with it. I wonder how that will look. I got that one too. Oh, decisions. Usually the smaller pattern's going to look better. I might use several. I might use it from both. Okay, so let's do this real quick. You know the drill. Hopefully this one will come apart a lot easier. Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, this to me is just a really fun way of using this stuff. And then I will probably stop the camera and dry them, and then let you guys see what they look like. So, okay, so I think what I'm going to do, oh yeah, that would be cool. I didn't get to show you what I was going to do with the stamp, but that's okay. We'll do that another day. All right, so where'd my thing go? I'm going to try, and actually, well, I don't know if two will fit on there, but we shall see. Let's see how much of that I can get in there, and then I'll mess with it later. Alright, let's see. I know that's probably too long, but I think what I'm going to do, okay, put that over here, and then maybe put one kind of over here. Something's got to give on the flowers. I got too many. I don't think that one would work. Let's see. And that has too much white. You want to try and get rid of as much of the white as you can, because then it will blend in there a lot better. So we can do that. I don't know. Put that right down. Maybe I'll go this way and put that there. Oh, my air conditioner just turned on, so things are blowing. Yeah, I think that's cool, but I'm going to have to put something down there in a minute. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's cute. It's got a little butterfly. Let me see if I can get that in there. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, oh, there's another one over there too. I think maybe I'll do this one because it has some flowers with it. me see if I can get that in there. Well, it's going to be the same butterfly though. I don't know if I like that. Oh, let's see. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let me see. Maybe I'll put this one in. I just don't like all the white around this one. Okay, yeah, well, maybe that'll work. Okay, we'll try that. We shall try that. Oh no. Maybe I won't put that other bird there and I'll just put this one here. Let me see. To move that so he's not so cat-a-corner on there. And then maybe put this guy down here. Stay still. Yeah, that could work. But I have to take some of this off. And then some on the bottom. So he could go down here. And then I could put another little butterfly down here. Okay, I'm going to do that because we're running out of time, so I'm just going to make that decision. Get all of this glue on there quickly. Put him right there. And put that, oop, I'm getting my napkin caught up in there. Anyways, guys, this is it'll turn out really cool, and you know, then you'll have these elements in there that are just, you know, a little different. Put that right there, and then that covers a lot of our blank spots. Okay, so let's get some more glue on there. That's the thing, without ripping it. Get all that down. Uh-oh. Get back down. And that's because I didn't put the glue down all the way first, and that does help, but you know, it's not necessary to do it that way. It does help keep it down though. Now see this tighter weave, you can see that it's got you know, it's going in more, and I actually think this is probably going to end up looking the best. Getting lots of glue, that's really the number one thing to do with this. Okay. And then I'm going to take my other brush that I've got paper all stuck all over. I'm just going to kind of go, be very carefully, kind of smush it in there. Make sure that all the ends especially are in there. Okay, so I've done that, and I'll pick something out for the top. I don't know what yet. Maybe another piece of this. I don't know. It's just funny how this stuff ends up being just the right. I think I'm going to use this. Just because I bought it and I need to use it. It has the right colors in it too. Like, you know. I'll put that on there. Okay. So anyways, I will let these dry and show you what they look like when they're dry. Okay. And also too, guys, if you want to sew around these, you can sew around them. but I don't know if I'm going to or not. I haven't really decided. But anyway, this is going to go halfway. You know, this way we can put it on our journal. See, isn't that cool? And because this is fabric, it's strong and it'll work. I'm going to put this back on here. And I'll do that later. Okay, so I'm going to show you what they're like when they're done, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I haven't dried them yet, but I did want to show you something that I forgot to show you. What I do on these two is I take the tiniest bit of vintage photo, like half a drop, and some of my glue, and I do this, and it just depends on the look you want. But I do that to kind of tint them and make them a little bit darker and not so new looking. And I'm just going to take a little bit and go just in a different spot, just like you would when you're kind of doing that with your journal. So, and I mainly just go over it. I concentrate a lot on the ends, and I'll put a little bit in there. And this stuff dries pretty quick, but if it, you know, you can always add a little water to it. And that just tints it a little bit. That's all I'm doing. And I thought I would show you that before I show it to you dry, because I always usually do that, and I didn't show you that. So, and as you can see, I'm going mainly around the ends. I'm doing that to kind of blend it in a little bit. Get that on there. Let's see, this is already getting kind of a little bit too thick, so I'm going to have to put some water on it. But I'm just taking it while it's still wet and going over it, and that's just to give it a little tint. And that's really all I'm doing. I don't know where that big glob came from, but it has to go away. And what that will do, especially on the ends, is it'll blend them in, just like you would do if you had fussy cut something and you're going to ink the ends. So we're going to do that just a little. Get some water in there. Just put a little bit in there so it'll not, it's already drying pretty quick, so. And I'm just barely putting in there. I don't overdo it. I'm just kind of vintaging it up, grunging it up a little, and then just kind of going over the top and blending it in with my glue that's already wet. You want to do this while your glue is still wet. Anyway, that's it, and then you're going to dry it. So I'll be right back as soon as it's dry. Hey everybody, I went ahead and dried these and sewed around them so you could see what they look like when they're done. Here's the first one that we did, and if you look at it, it just looks really neat. It looks like the napkin is part of the burlap because it goes in. I hope you can see that and it's focusing. It just kind of gets stuck in those little indentations of the burlap, so it turns out really good. I think this is kind of a different look. And then this is the other one that was done on the white, and I went over it with that glue. And now I did want to show you one thing. Here's the last one. I left part of this so you could see. If when you're done, if you see little white spots in here, because the outside of the napkin is white, you can take, and I just got this little makeup brush, but any little brush, just go in there with your vintage photo, and don't be afraid, go in there, because it's about the same color as the burlap, and you can just kind of go in there and kind of get rid of all that white. So that's why I kind of left it so you guys could see. And plus it kind of dingies it up a little bit more. And so if you look at that, see, isn't that cool? I mean, it just kind of stays in there, and then it goes in all the little indentations. So, and then you've got your fabric here, and then you would just adhere this. I would glue this probably on the page or sew it, and then you're gonna, like this. And then here, I'll just take the tape off because it's not gonna stick, probably. Okay. But then you just put it on your page and either glue it or sew it, and then there you go. That's it. That's your flip. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. So I hope that you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. And don't forget about Giveaway Friday. All you have to do to win is be a subscriber and make a comment on any video during the week, and you will be entered. So anyway, I'll see you guys soon.